Loving that music. Welcome, welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I am Tim Anderson, aka Renvale, and welcome to my channel. Welcome to today's video. We've been doing a lot of Lord of the Rings Online streaming the past week. Before that, we were doing Baldur's Gate 3 Early Access, and before that, we did Baldur's Gate 1, Baldur's Gate 2, Icewind Dale 1, Icewind Dale 2. We did a little bit of Wasteland. We did a lot of different stuff, and we're prepping for Assassin's Creed Valhalla in November and Cyberpunk 2077, which has now been pushed back to December. I'm not sad about that because I was concerned earlier because there was only going to be like a week between Valhalla release and 2077, and I was like, how am I going to be able to play both of those in November? And now I have the whole month of November to play Assassin's Creed Valhalla. But before we get to that, and as we're continuing the Lord of the Rings Online adventures, I wanted to dive into Pillars of Eternity. Now, I played this game when it first came out in 2018. It's been a couple of years. I played the first game twice through. I only played Pillars of Eternity 2 through one time, so I don't remember everything exactly, but I figured like now was a good time to dive into this and showcase it a little bit here on YouTube. First and foremost, I want to thank everybody for their support. Thank you for following along. If you aren't following already, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, hit the bell icon for more updates, and stick around because we got a lot of different things going on at this channel. But in the meantime, let's dive in here and let's start a new game. In Pillars of Eternity 2, Deadfire. Now, I want to play real-time with pause mode. That's actually one of the things I don't like about Baldur's Gate 3 is the fact that it is a turn-based game, which is unlike the first few games in the series. And I say first few games because I'm talking about Baldur's Gate 1, Baldur's Gate 2, Icewind Dale 1, Icewind Dale 2. Those were all real-time with pause mode. So we're going to play this game as real-time with pause mode. Let's see here. Right now it's on relaxed mode. Level scaling is on for all. So I haven't looked at all these. Because they've done a lot of patches since the last time I played. So the classic difficulty is for people who want Deadfire's standard combat challenged. Relaxed difficulties for players who are new. I'm not new to it. But it says that level scaling is on and you can choose to have it only scale upwards. Alright, well let's just do the classic version for now. Obsidian Entertainment presents Pillars of Eternity 2, Deadfire.
Eora, a world where mortals live, die, and are reborn through the turning of the wheel. The cycle of reincarnation watched over by the gods, and made possible through pillars of a mystical substance known as Audra. 5 years ago, you traveled from your home to the Deerwood, a nation that had waged war against the incarnated god of light, Aethys, resulting in his destruction. The country suffered from a plague of hollowborn, infants born without souls, that many believed was punishment for killing a god. In an ancient, secluded ruin, you witnessed a secret ritual that inadvertently transformed you into a watcher. One who can see and speak with souls. The ritual also gave you horrible visions. waking nightmares of a past life that threatened your sanity. To put them to rest, you pursued the man who had led the ritual, a seemingly immortal agent of the gods, known as Theos Ix Arcanon. With divine assistance, you confronted and defeated Theos, ending your visions and resolving the Hollowborn crisis. In so doing, you also learned the great secret that Theos had protected. That the ancient empire of Anguith had transformed themselves into gods. Your visions finally put to rest, you retired to the castle of Cadnua, built atop a massive statue of pure Audra, where you ruled in relative peace and prosperity.
Until... I love these types of intros.
Story. You fixing up that old keep? Lifting the curse? Must have told it 100 times. But something got to gnawing at me. Thinking the spirits there weren't really at rest. Maybe the gods weren't finished with us. I used to dream that when my God came back, he would forgive us. That's the trouble with dreams. Sooner or later, we all have to wake up.
And so you wake to a sleepless world, the in-between of life and death. Follow your memories. You have been here before.
Okay, so I'm in some sort of a dream world.
You have seen past the shroud. You are a watcher now, and a watcher you will stay.
That's a scene from the first game.
A watcher sees souls, knows their pasts, and the souls see them back.
A dubious honor, inheriting a fortress both broken and cursed.
What is a god? A higher power? A rewarder of good deeds and punisher of the wicked?
The gods aren't real, but something else entirely. Something created by people.
And did you ever consider that these were things you were never meant to understand? That their comprehension is beyond you?
Let the world see. Let them decide what to do.
The wheel has turned again, Watcher. Come.
Spun out again into reality.
An aged dwarf shares this strange floating platform with you. His face is creased by so many wrinkles that his features lie buried amid shadowy pockets of skin. Still, the dwarf's well-practiced habits have left telltale tracks of a welcoming rictus across his visage.
In other words, he's a friendly fellow.
You can see his smile coming before it blooms, reshaping the dwarf's face from a hanging sack of flesh into something resembling an oddly carved, merry gourd, replete with unhealthy bumps and discolored splotches.
Okay, we're going to do something really quick with the sound. Drop the music volume a bit so we can hear the voice better. So we can't talk to him, but he's following us. What is this? Table of
Please.
Table of cards.
Thank you for joining us, Watcher of Cadnua.
The gaunt woman seated at the table is clad in time-worn black armor that seems too massive for her to move in.
Her hair is floating in the whatever ethereal breeze is here as well.
A pale, slender neck rises from the gorget, topped by a hollow face. The milky skin stretched across it is delicate and translucent, like parchment that has been scraped clean too many times. She's preoccupied with the arrangement of cards on the table between you. With each movement, her armor squeaks and groans as though bearing an incredible weight. She places a final card, gives a nod of satisfaction, and raises her eyes to meet yours.
Your brush with the divine has drained you of your powers, fractured your memories. Look upon these cards. They represent the courses of your life. You alone know best how they flowed. Arrange them to fit what you remember.
Examine the cards to choose your legacy. So this is, if you don't have a Pillars of Eternity in-game save to import, you can choose from these options. You can also create a custom history from the options in the main menu. I don't really care one way or the other because it's been so long since I played the first game, and I vaguely remember everything that went on, so it's all good for me. And I think I actually have somewhere, I might even have on this computer a POI save, I just don't remember where it would be. Let's look at here. In Pillars of Eternity, these are the options. You've returned the Hollowborn souls to the Deerwood's children as you had pledged to highly. Charitable listening. I'm pretty sure I was the benevolent soul the first time I played the game. Yeah, benevolent soul. Use selected history.
Does everything appear to be in order?
Yes.
Good. Welcome to the Beyond. I am Bera. One half, anyway.
She points a finger in the direction of the dwarf who led you here. Though the movement is slight, her gauntlet squeaks like a rusty hinge. The dwarf's rictus returns as he nods in the woman's direction.
Tell me, do you remember when we last met?
Yes, in the Hall of Stars and Twin Elms.
You came to that tower seeking our aid. You prayed for help in reaching Theos, beyond the Court of Penitence, but would not pledge yourself to me.
Of course not.
Still, a pledge unmade stands fairer in this court than a pledge broken.
She places a card in the middle of the arrangement. A bell tower with no bell. Her fingertips slowly drag away from the card, faintly creaking as they retreat across the table.
You had need of the gods once before. Now it seems we have need of you. The being that occupied Ognua's statue beneath your castle was the dead god, Eothas. Of this we are certain. What we do not know is what his intentions are.
Eothas is the god of rebirth, redemption, dawn, spring, and light. Traditionally shown as a man bearing a candle and wearing a silver crown. Believed to have possessed the body of the Redsaran farmer Waidwen during the Saints' War and been destroyed along with Waidwen at the end of the war. He recently reformed his essence in the statue of Maros Nua beneath Caed Nua. In the process of pulling himself from the endless paths, he destroyed the castle and left the Watcher of Caed Nua at the brink of death. I am the Watcher.
Though Aethys stole a large fragment of your soul, you were strong enough to survive the onslaught and enter the in-between. You and he are still connected. He has chosen a body made of living Audra, perfused with the power of thousands of souls, including yours. It should be little difficulty for an experienced Watcher to find him.
Am I dead?
No. But neither is your body truly alive. Your lungs draw breath, your heart pumps blood, but your flesh is as soulless as a Hollowborn. That is, until I return you.
Hollowborns are infants born without souls.
She delicately places a card upright on the table. The art depicts souls flowing out of a pillar of Audra.
I've had enough of dealing with the gods, all of you. Why should I care about any of this?
Did you care for the souls of the Deerwood who clung to you as they stumbled blindly through the in-between?
The Deerwood was a colonial nation founded by settlers from the Aedir Empire. Following a series of conflicts with the Aedir, the territory became independent in 2672 AI and is now ruled by a duke, who was elected by 7 Earls that oversee its earldoms. The in-between refers to the shadow world that souls briefly wander after death on their way to the beyond. It has been described as a hazy landscape, empty but for the glow of other souls, Audra, and Watchers. This is the space that Watchers peer into when they observe and speak to lost souls and soul fragments. Even the gods cannot reach it.
You are a beacon to all of the lost, Watcher. Your soul gleams as brightly to them as Audra itself.
For a moment, there is a glint in the blackness of her eyes. A flash of wondrous recollection.
Those who have fallen in Aethys' wake are trapped inside him still. If you will not help them, who will? Of course, if that doesn't convince you, I can always return you to the wheel and find someone else to pursue him.
Then let's get on with it.
Before you return to Eora as my herald, you must remember who you were, the last whisper of life and death. When you can picture your own face, the Beyond will lead you back to your own kind, to the world of mortals.
Aha! Start from scratch. We're going to create a brand new character. We're going to choose a male. This is a good question. The mighty Amua are the largest of the Kith races and are commonly found in and near oceans. No. I'm either going to go with elf. Oh, that's a good question, though. I don't know what class I want to play yet. It's a very good decision, and I don't know. Probably a thief. Perception. Dexterity. Dexterity affects the character's action speed. Hand-eye coordination. So I'm probably going to want to be an elf, in other words. Perception might be helpful for picking up traps and the like. Let's choose elf for now. Elves are the dominant race in Eir Glenfath and the White that wins, and are commonly known, are extremely common in the Deerwood and the Aedir. Elves are known for their speed and intelligence, as well as a commonly isolationist nature. The Ir is a territory comprised of the forest southeast of the Bale River, populated indigenously by a group of loosely affiliated tribes collectively known as Glenfathans, and governed by a council of its 6 most powerful tribes. Glenfath is home to a large number of ruined Angwithian sites, which Glenfathans hold sacred. The ruins have been at the center of a number of large-scale conflicts with Deerwoodian colonists whose settlements often encroach on Glenfathan territory and who frequently seek to plunder the ruins for their relics. The White That Wins is a large, cracked southern expanse of polar ice, home to pale elves and small colonies of daring explorers, outcasts, and adventurers. While virtually no plant life grows in the White, it is home to many hardy species of dangerous animals. I gotta quit moving the mouse. That forage from the sea or prey on each other to survive. I think we'll go with elf for now. Pale elf or wood elf. I'll go with wood elf. Would you like to make a single class or multi-class character? Single class characters are entirely focused on their chosen class. They gain access to higher level powers more quickly. Multi-class characters can select powers from 2 classes, but gain access to higher level powers more slowly. We're going to do single class. Alright, so here's where I have to decide if I want to do a rogue or ranger. I can't remember what I played through the first time I played this game. I could try wizard too. Ooh, you can preview the ability tree. That's groovy. I think I'm going to do a wizard because I'm pretty sure I either did a ranger or a rogue the first time around. Let's do a wizard. For sure. It says major role crowd control, minor role striker. Masters of academic magic, wizards are students of arcane traditions that stretch back beyond the boundaries of recorded history. Wizards are a highly organized group, often forming academies or guilds devoted to research and development in magical studies, and tend to favor environments where inquiry, experimentation, debate, and the dissemination of knowledge are encouraged. Many accomplished wizards eventually become known for their eccentricity, their egos, and their unquenchable interest in all things arcane and occult. Wizards have a limited number of spell uses in combat for each spell level. Outside of combat, wizard spell uses are restored, ready to be used in the next encounter. Oh, druid sounds fun too, though. Animists at heart, druids tap into the spiritual power that flows through the simple living things of Eora. Plants, animals, and sometimes even living stone. While not necessarily religious, druids do have a reverence for the natural world and a keen interest in understanding its mysteries. In most cultures, druids are understood as a sort of primal magician, but among the Glenfathans, the Nasataki, and many rural cultures, they may have high positions of influence and authority. I think I'm gonna go with wizard. I'm torn, wizard or druid. Really don't know. Sunbeam, passive abilities, animist. Fast. I think it makes sense, since I'm an elf, to be a druid. I've never done a druid. I want to try to think back if I ever did a druid in Baldur's Gate 1 or 2. I don't think I ever did. So let's go with the druid. Let's just do it and see what we see. Oh, I can choose what type of druid as well. An animist. Animists are the most common druids in Eora. Draw power from complex way. Okay, they can blah blah blah. Fury. Furies embrace storms as the essential wild spirit of nature. Instead of shape-shifting... Oh, not only... They've worked primal nature, these zealots of Gawain. You know, I don't think, actually, I don't like any of the sub-options there. Let's check the wizard again. No subclass. Conjurer. Summon weapons. Chanters focus on bedazzling. Evokers devote all of their energy towards destructive. Illusionist. Transmuters. Blood Mage. I think I want to do Evoker. Maybe I just go with no subclass. Ugh. I'm going back to Druid now. I'm indecisive. Animus are the most commonly Druids. There's no penalties to these. So I think we'll just do the Animus since that's the most common. Initial abilities. Okay, let's look here. Dancing Bolt summons a flurry of thin bolts of lightning. I like the sound of that. Spirit shifts. Oh, I'm going with a wolf. That's not even a question. Points left. Okay. So, intellect contributes to the will defense and influences duration and area of effect for all abilities. Resolve. Hostile effects as well as free will. Alright. Might contributes to damage, healing effectiveness, and the fortitude. How does it affect damage? Alright, well let's put... Let's see here. Well, I'll put all of these at 12. Let's put might at 14, intellect at 14, and... What is will? Okay. I'm curious how might affects damage for druids, but I guess we'll see when we get in. Next, where am I from? The Adria Empire is one of the most prominent old empires of the West. It is centered around the equator and has a tropical climate. Deadfire Archipelago? No. Once the crown jewel of the southern seas, Old Viola, I can't pronounce that. Old Vilia is now the crumbled remnants of an empire of warring merchant nations. Humans and dwarves, no thanks. Nope. The Living Lands is a mountainous region of large northern island renowned for its diversity of plant and animal life. Oh, so these give bonuses. We'll choose the Living Lands. What was your job? Ooh, good question. Probably an explorer. Or a hunter. No. Or scientist. No, it'll be explorer. Okay, weapon proficiencies. Scepter, rod, wand. Nope. Two-handed. We're going to say quarterstaff. I can choose two different types. So for now, we'll say quarterstaff and maybe a hunting bow. Alright, time to choose my portrait. I kind of like the one that's already chosen by default, but let's choose darker hair. Oh, choosing the colors here. Change my eyes. Oh, goodness gracious. Probably that. Voice. Okay.
Nothing will slip past me.
Let's go. My eyes are peeled. Yep. I've got this.
Silence around me. Yes, I shall lead us.
Easy does it. Yeah?
They've got voice from characters from Vox Machina. That's fun.
Out of my way!
Well, if you insist.
Time for some good old-fashioned ultra-violence!
That's so awesome. I think we'll choose...
Show them how it's done. Stand together. Quickly and quietly. Yeah.
I like feisty. Pose. Average. Heroic. Hunched. Roguish. Sassy. Stoic. Sullen. Drunk. Energetic. Savage. Let's go average. Next. Renfell, of course. Alright, I am Renfell, the first level druid. I'm an animus, my power source is nature. I am a wood elf from the Living Lands. Alright.
Go forth now, Watcher, as my herald. Know that I do not give you this title lightly. When the time comes, you will have the power to reveal the souls that cling to you. To open the gateway from the in-between to the waking world. Find Aethys. Learn his plans. When I have cause to talk to you, I will summon you.
With a quick gesture of her hand, you feel a sharp pain in what would be your chest. The pain continues, intruding deeper into your soul. Looking down, you see a small lump of darkness roiling within you. The darkness lingers there, but the pain abates and fades entirely within the span of a few seconds.
A chime. Do not fear, Herald. It will not harm you unless you choose to cross me. I trust it will not come to that.
Her gauntleted hand gestures to the dwarf, hovering nearby. The dwarf nods, contorts his face with his odd smile, and gestures to a new door.
Alright, well we are now off to this next area. You sense the steward's spirit in the bust, but she is unaware of you. Goosebumps rise on Eder's arms at your approach, but he seems unaware of your presence.
The return to your body feels like waking after a fitful drunken sleep. The rocking of the ship sends pain jolting through your limbs. Crashing waves hammer inside your skull. Eder watches over your body with a glazed look, taking long, even tokes from his pipe. At the first movement of your chest, he starts. His gasp, mid-puff, sends him coughing and straining for breath.
No, there's no way. You're awake. What are you doing awake? How are you feeling?
Alive?
Alive's a big improvement.
I hate to cast a pall over your recovery, but I'm afraid I have some bad news for you.
The voice echoes from inside the bust. The remains of the steward of Cad Nua.
Cad Nua has been destroyed. Eothas possessed the statue of Maros Nua and rose from the ground, consuming the souls of all nearby. It is only by the exceptional strength of your soul that you survived. And even then, just barely. The further Eothas withdrew, the weaker you became. We chartered this ship and followed him to the Deadfire archipelago. I know not how, but it seems he has retained a piece of your soul. And proximity to it has brought you back.
I know.
How could you know all that? You've been faking on us.
He pokes at your shoulder with one finger.
Misfortunes brewing topside. Migrants fires the captain stirs.
An older man with ale-sour breath rubs his bloodshot eyes and stares at you.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is as good enough a point as any to mark a cutoff point for the first video in the Pillars of Eternity 2 Deadfire series. If you would like to watch me play this game live, I stream most mornings. Just kind of depends on when I wake up, but Central Time. Streaming this, Lord of the Rings Online, and other games. So for those of you who are tuning in after the fact and watching this video later on, feel free to subscribe to the channel, hit the bell icon for more updates, and follow along for more videos in this series and for when I go live to play this game and other games here on the channel. Thanks for tuning in. Stay safe, stay healthy, safe gaming. And for those of you who are sticking around for the live version, we're going to continue here with the adventure.
Engrim, the smell of drink on your breath could wake the very dead. Now what's this about?
Pirates. They're demanding parley with you, Captain.
I know this is asking a lot, but you better arm yourself and get on deck. Should be some gear in there.
He indicates a nearby wardrobe.
Alright, before we do that, I got to prepare here. 1 second. The hood was getting a little hot. Alright.
You hearing all right? Gear's in the wardrobe. Got no time to dally.
Yeah, I'll be working on it. Alright. Take all.
Now make some use of it.
Hylia's bounty, a prepared meal. It's gonna be my offhand weapon, that's gonna be my main weapon. Okay. One thing I never did in the first playthrough of this game was get into crafting So I might be doing crafting this time around. Haven't decided yet. We shall see.
The pirates of Deadfire are notorious. I suggest you deal with them quickly. The pirates of Deadfire are notorious. I suggest you deal with them quickly.
What's quick save? F5. Okay.
Well, what have we here? A little sloop? Lost and alone in the storm?
A surly, brutish-looking captain stands stiff-backed before his crew. He scowls as he assesses you, his hair whipping about his ears in the wind. That crack of lightning was really loud. I may have to do some more adjustment to the sound effects.
I'll be taking your ship now, if you don't mind. And especially if you do.
Well, at least he asked.
I am a gentleman of fortune.
The captain shrugs in the sheeting rain before penning you with a slow, murderous grin.
Give her up easy, and I'll see you get a swift death. It'll be bloody and agonizing, sure. But at least it'll be quick.
The storm's pretty loud. Did you say you're surrendering? How strange.
And then he's going to wear his breeches on his head and dance for us? Did I hear that right?
Aye, but the breeches are gonna be stitched from your skin. You got a smart mouth on ya. Careful. That'll get you killed faster than any blade. Listen up, mates.
He cracks his neck as he addresses his crew.
I'm off to spear me a bigger fish. One with sharper teeth like. I'm trusting you lot not to cock this up. Don't damage the sloop when you take it. Play with the crew if you'd like, but don't bring me any prisoners. None that are alive.
Looks like we're going to be heading into a fight, ladies and gentlemen.
You heard, Benwick! After!
Do some more adjustments to the sound here. Just for the moment. Alright. Draw upon the druid's natural connection to the wolf, temporarily allowing him to assume that form. The wolf shapeshift moves quickly and has an attack that can knock enemies prone. Or just use defensive strike. Let's do counter. I'm only gonna get two. I can get all three. Looks like I can get three of them.
Defend the ship!
Alright. That one's down. Okay. Let's go ahead and pause. Let's cast another spell. Okay.
Storm's picking up! Take cover!
You've defeated the pirates, but you're not out of trouble yet. The storm picks up, lashing your ship and driving you dangerously close to the rocky shore. The Defiant's crew hurries to reduce sail and batten down the hatches. They work quickly, but the ship is still listing heavily. So the Defiant is the ship purchased with the last of Caed Nua's riches. It has borne you from the eastern reach to the Deadfire archipelago. Just then, a loose crate tumbles towards you, gathering speed on the rain-slicked deck. It misses you, but knocks Chitupek, one of your deckhands, off his feet. The Defiant heaves. Chitupek pitches over the side. He grabs onto the rail, but his fingers are slipping. He cries out for help. Meanwhile, the runaway crate totters on the edge of the deck, ready to plunge overboard. You recognize the symbol on the front and realize it likely contains the salvage from Caed Nua, your keep. I'm gonna try to rescue Chitupek. I don't care about the crate. You grab Chitupek's arm just as his grip fails. For a tense moment, he hangs suspended over the roiling sea. Then, with a mighty tug, you pull him back onto the deck. You hear a heavy splash. The crate from Caed Nua is gone. Chitupek, meanwhile, nods in gratitude and hurries to his station. Meanwhile, the storm has nearly driven you ashore. A flash of lightning reveals a treacherous coastline and Eothas striding into the distance. The lookout barely has time to shout a warning before the Defiant runs aground. The impact hurls you from the deck and into a froth of waves, bodies, and splintering debris. You struggle towards the beach just ahead, even as the surf tugs you toward the open sea. You kick and paddle with all your might until at last you feel sand beneath your fingers. Pulling yourself ashore, you collapse. The base effect for many spells can be increased by intellect. Okay, yeah, we'll be working on that. New quest, Stranded. New quest
You've
out
been getting a lot of sleep so far on this trip. I'd have woke you, but you look so peaceful with your face in the sand.
Adair runs his fingers through his hair and removes a strand of seaweed he finds lodged there. He examines it closely and then tosses it into the sand.
If you're worried about the ship, you can stop worrying. It's wrecked right over there.
He points out the Defiant, despite it being difficult to miss from your vantage point.
So far, it's just you and me and the chair lady over there.
Adair nods towards something further up the beach.
It's a relief to see you awake, my lord. I worried you were in for another long sleep.
Your steward appears to be lodged between some rocks. Despite this, her tone is warmly cheerful. I hate boats.
It's right behind you.
Unfortunately, I believe we'll be needing the Defiant yet. Unless you mean to settle down on the island for good.
Oh, there's a thought.
Can we patch up the ship?
I'm afraid I won't be much assistance in that regard. And not to doubt Master Adair's capacity, but even he would need supplies.
That's true. Steak, especially.
Steak sounds good.
Patching the hull is only the start. You're going to need help getting the Defiant out to sea again. And a crew, for that matter.
Let's see about the other survivors. And somehow we gotta get the ship repaired. I don't want to be paddling out of here on a salvage raft.
For now, I'd say your best bet is to find some sign of civilization. If nothing else, we may be able to hire on a shipwright. My lord, if it is not too taxing, could you explain how it came to pass that you were returned to us?
My soul passed into the beyond, and Bereth gave me a choice. Find Eothas or die.
These gods. You make one deal with them to stop a madman, and the next thing you know, they're threatening your soul.
That isn't much of a choice. But castle or no castle, you are still my lord, and I will aid you to the best of my ability.
Well, I suppose we better get a move on.
Let's go. Choose the single class or multi-class for this companion. This choice cannot be changed later. We're gonna have him be our fighter, for sure.
So many souls lost. Surely someone else survived.
Help!
Well, it looks like we gotta help. Alright, let's go help her first before we loot bodies. The Defiant is looking far worse for wear after its unexpected landfall. The hull has splintered in several places along the keel, while the tattered sails stand as evidence of your battle with the pirates. You may be able to climb up. Scale the hull by hand. That's a watcher-only check. You climb nimbly up the side of the ship and reach the top without so much as breaking a sweat. Adair is not far behind you, pulling himself up and over the railing beside you.
You're looking better, Casita. That, or I'm worse off than I thought.
Casita, a Vylian term for captain. The sheen of sweat on her brow and the wan cast of her features belies Irena's casual greeting.
It's my leg, Matiko. It hurts even worse than it looks.
Madiko is an expletive or curse in Vylian. Irena's leg bears a bloody gouge along the length of her shin, and the swelling around her knee suggests a nasty break. Craft a sprint. Athletics. I'll patch you up as best I can, but you want to stay on that leg, off that leg as much as possible. Let's see if we can do that.
I wasn't planning on going for a run, Casita.
Irena watches you work with obvious relief. Once you're through, she gives the leg a tentative stretch.
It still hurts, but I can manage from here. Agrasima.
Agrasima. So this is kind of like Italian almost. A Valiant expression of gratitude.
Have you found any of the others yet?
Not yet.
I'll start a fire. If any of the others are out there, hopefully they'll see it and turn up.
Climb down.
Leave it to me.
Alright, we're gonna loot everything we can find for the moment. I'm gonna increase the speed a little bit here. That's a little better.
Why not?
There's a spirit.
Hope the rest of those sodden bastards made it.
Okay, so she's started the campfire. We'll keep looking for survivors here.
Spy, Magran here. My flame burns yet. Is that ye?
Eld Engram appears to be in sound condition, though his waxed jacket is soaked through. He appraises you with bleary-eyed amusement.
You woke just in time for the fun. Fighting off motherless raiders one moment, flung into the freezing depths of Andra's bosom the next.
Ingram's eye twitches as he flashes a smile notable for its extraordinary absence of teeth. Andra is known as the goddess of oceans, forgotten things, lost for relentlessness and mourning. Said to have once fallen in love with the moon and to try to have draw it near, with catastrophic consequences. People bring tokens to her temples of things they wish to forget, and her clergy see the tokens cast into the sea.
Aye. Magran learns us poor bastards that a little excitement's good for the heart.
Magran is the goddess of war, fire, transformation, purification, consumption, and trials. Patron goddess of the Drywood. Thought to have blessed the Godhammer bomb that destroyed Waidun and possibly Aothis. The last Magranite to travel with me almost went mad because of his goddess's trials.
Aye. But but almost mad ain't fully mad. Ah, old Durance. The goddess shan't forge another like him in our lives, Captain.
Can we go back on the ship now?
Bella, don't let anger be a bad influence while I'm gone.
That's unkind. You're the one decided to pluck this wean from the wilds of Aer Glanfith. Blame that stone steward of yours for bringing the furry maid along.
Uncle Engram, you promised me ale.
Later, sweetie. Uncle Engram's thirsty too.
He absentmindedly taps on his chest near his heart, sounding the thunk of something metal beneath the priest's jacket. Alright, quick save.
Could be a fight. Suey? Suey?
Okay, what's he talking about?
Word and rock. Hey, fancy seeing you here.
The spirit's voice warps and shifts, muted as if by a great distance. Even so, he smiles brightly at you.
I can't see much of anything, really, apart from you. Just endless gray. What happened?
The ship ran aground in the storm. You died.
Storm? That's strange. You'd think a man would recall a storm. It's like someone cut away a part of my memory. There's just this big black hole. It's weird. I thought death would be different. Big light and so on. But I don't see anything at all. Just you.
Well, Bareth charged me with guiding souls to the afterlife, so I suppose you're my responsibility now.
Oh. Suppose that sounds nice enough. I'll follow you then, shall I?
Come along then. The spirit falls into step behind you, radiating cheer.
Still seeing ghosts, huh? I suppose you're stuck with that. Hmm? Yeah. Hmm? Hey, this brings back some memories, huh?
What are your thoughts on Aothas at the moment?
I don't know. I've still got this picture of him in my mind from when I was a kid in church. It's nothing like what we're seeing. Just like it was nothing like Widewind. But that first image, that's still what Aothas is to me.
Let me ask you something else.
If you like.
How do you like Deadfire?
The air's different. Especially compared to Gilded Vale, where there's more livestock than shovels. Sounds different, too. You wake up to all those bird calls, it really does sound like they're making music. If the birds woke you in Gilded Vale, it was usually a couple crows making the most horrible mating noises you ever heard. Strange thing is, I still get this feeling in me, like I wish I was home.
What did you do after we ended the Legacy?
I like that feeling, knowing we'd stopped Theos. We were part of something big, and that was something I never felt before, not even at war. Guess I went looking for it again. Not that I wanted to tangle with gods, but something smaller. Something I thought I could manage. I looked all around the Deerwood, but that place has too many ghosts for me. Things I'd just as soon forget. Ended up moving to Adir and tracking down my parents. They went there as refugees after the war ended.
Did you find a way to be useful?
In part, I guess. Adir, they still got some bad blood with Deerwood. Goes back to the Revolution. Some Adirans like to give Deerwoodans a hard time they get the chance. With my folks, a group came along and tried to take their land. Made a phony claim to it.
What'd you do?
I sat down with them and we had a friendly negotiation. One fella, I don't think he'll ever be able to look to his right again. But we came to an understanding. My folks, well, they didn't see me the same after that. I think they'd have rather given up the land than have it come to violence. And I don't know if that was something we could have avoided, or if it was the cost of trying to fix things.
Alright, let's get moving.
My eyes are peeled. No problem.
Watcher, over here.
I forget how to select everybody. It's backspace. Gotcha.
It is good to see you well, Watcher. I believe the boars were hoping for easy meat.
Jitterbek greets you with a relieved nod and checks the pistol at his hip.
The bosun, Beadle, is in that cave over there. Ran in after a boar. Stubborn old dwarf.
What happened?
After we made landfall, you mean? I woke and Beadle was close by, swearing fit to bring Andra's wrath upon us a second time. We began to search for supplies. I came over this way in hopes of gathering some of that blood moss over there. I thought it might be of use. I imagine the boars had the same idea.
I'll look for Beadle.
I will make for the campfire. I must get this pistol cleaned if it's going to be of any use. Be careful in there, Captain.
Alright, quick save.
Sure. Got it.
Well, before we go in the cave, let's search the rest of the island here.
Didn't think death would be so boring.
Is that all we can explore here? Let's go check really quick over here. Yeah. Alright, so we're definitely going into the cave next. Alright, quick save. Alright.
Time to see and not be seen.
I guess we're not the first to head this way.
Why not?
Wait, look there.
I might have to turn AI off because I automatically shapeshifted.
Good thing I saw him first. After him! Word rock!
That's one way to deal with skeletons.
No problem.
Better quick save.
Sure. Don't think I can pull that off.
Got a note. Still no sight of Benwith. How much longer are we gonna wait? The wet's already ruined half our take. And get your stinking construct under control. It's been hanging out by that crystal. I swear it's been giving me the eye. Alright, I don't have mechanics to open that up.
Why not?
Can I maybe use lockpicks on that, or do I have to have mechanics? I don't remember.
No sweat.
Yeah, I have to have mechanics.
Looks like trouble.
Leave it to me.
Come on!
After him!
Okay.
Why not?
The water here glows an eerie blue, and the cave glistens with reflected light. You can just make out an opening in the cavern wall to the northwest, where the water flows onward. Send someone to scout ahead for air pockets. Adair sets out at a good pace, cutting through the water with confident strokes. Nearly to the far side of the tunnel, Adair finds a space to come up for air. With a place to rest along the way, the swim should be more manageable. Swim through. Air pockets provide a much-needed reprieve as you make your way through the cramped waterway. You make short work of the journey. You come up into what appears to be another, smaller cavern where sunlight streams in from an opening in the stone.
Quickly and quietly. Leave it to me.
Well, this puts me back out into Valaria's Rest, but where? Ah, this part of the beach that I couldn't get to earlier. And a spirit.
Told him not to bring that thing in there. Didn't like the look of it one bit. But no one daren't speak poor of his precious animancy tech.
Animancy is the science of soul manipulation, a field both controversial and relatively new. Banned in some nations like Ader, but permitted in other countries like Deerwood and the violent republics. Bylian? That's gotta be answered. The ghostly figure paces the length of the small outcropping with quick, deliberate steps, muttering to herself all the while. Her long cape flaps with the wind that blows from the in-between.
Special gift from his contact, he says. Now it's acting all weird. Gives me the damn creeps. You feel it too, right? Like it's looking straight through you?
She turns piercing purple eyes on you. She shakes her head and resumes her pacing.
Came out here to get away. Couldn't stand it staring at me anymore. Then... Oh, my memory's fuzzy. Anyway, you want a Benwith's? Haven't seen you for, but he's been bringing all sort of new folks on lately. Can't hardly keep track.
Looks like the rocks here did a number on your boat.
I think I remember something about a boat. Yeah. And some screaming. Look, maybe we should stick together. Feels right, you know? What with you being the only other thing around and all. I can give you a hand with, spirity stuff.
Stay with me. I'll find a way to return you to the wheel.
I tell you, mate, I'd take anything over this endless grey. Even Remagon's frosty arse crack.
Rimmergron is the god of entropy, cold winter, bad luck, famine, and natural disasters. He manifests as a giant albino aurochs, moving amidst a great blizzard, and in the plodding footsteps of Rimmergan come death and disintegration. The spirit tries to give you a friendly pat on the shoulder, but her hand passes right through you. Unperturbed, she grins and walks along behind you. Alright, we'll swim back. Alright, deeper into the cave.
Damn pirates! Andra take your scabrous souls for fish food.
Bayadol. Still alive and calling everybody scabrous, I see. Well, now we got a bosun. Just need a boat.
Adair. And I see that corpse we've been carting around is looking a slight more sprightly. Good to see the two of you, but mind your step. I've got myself in a spot of trouble. Been trying to find a way past without losing a leg or getting a face full of poison.
Set off the traps with a few heavy stones. You wreak havoc upon the traps to the tune of snapping metal teeth and clattering darts. When the cacophony is ended, Beodal peers out from between his fingers and gives you a broad grin.
Clever, that. Oh, good thing none of them were of the exploding variety. Eld Ingram would have gotten a kick out of that, I bet. It's just bats and stinking corpses in this cave. You find anyone else?
He gingerly sets his weight on his injured foot, grimacing. We've got a campfire going back at the beach.
Then I'll head that way myself. See you on the beach, Captain.
Would you look at that? Well, that could have gone better. A quick rest would help, if you don't mind.
Sure.
Rest.
Good thing I saw him first.
Word and rock. Come on. After him. Hell, missed. That'll teach you.
Alright, we need both of these attacking this guy. Very nice.
What's a metal killing machine doing out here by himself in a cave anyway? Collecting his stuff.
Dozen paintings, mildewed and worthless, line the walls amongst broken bottles and rotting wood.
That art looks about as good as it smells at this point. Well, that's gonna be hard to clean.
Ring of minor protection. I will wear that ring. I'll level up in a moment. Right now I need to look at... Where did that ring? There it is. Alright. Quick save. Let's back out of here to the entrance.
I'll boil up some water. We'll have a spy at that leg of yours.
Should have seen me with that barrel, Engrim. I showed it who's boss.
Magrin gives some of us simpler trials than others.
Alright, so... those are our quests. I'm gonna ignore completed then. Okay. So we're done here. Now we can level up. Alchemy deals with the natural and supernatural properties of plants, body parts, and gemstones. It affects the use of all drugs, poisons, and antidotes. Explosives improves the accuracy, damage, and effectiveness of bombs, noisemakers, and similar devices. I think I'll take alchemy, since I'll be doing more stuff with plants. Choose an ability. Fit for 20 seconds. That's just +5 constitution. Okay. Charm Beast, Talon's Reach. I really don't know what I want to take here. I think I'll probably take Touch of Rot. You can now empower your abilities or yourself. Once per fight, you can use Empower on an active ability to make it much stronger. Alternatively, you can use Empower on yourself to replenish a portion of your ability resources. Excuse me. I like how Adair's sitting here smoking a pipe, relaxing. Okay. Well, they're both leveled up now. Let's head out to the archipelago. World map. Clicking on the world map will have your party navigate to the selected location. To toggle on and off the camera automatically follow the party, click the follow camera on the bottom right. What is this over here? So I can't cross that river. I can't grab that without my ship. In the distance you see a simple wagon. The angle at which it rests on the road, one side jutting above the other, suggests that it has been damaged or disabled. Even from your vantage, you can make out kith milling about it. The word kith is used to describe the dominant civilized races of Eora, including humans, Almoa, dwarves, elves, orlans, and godlike. Approach openly. As you near the cart, you make out a group of Ridsaran pilgrims in rough-spun linens and cottons. A single draft horse stamps to the ground impatiently as two of the pilgrims argue over the front right wheel, which seems hopelessly stuck in the mud. One of the pilgrims notices you. Her step back draws the attention of the others, and a man in well-worn gamson steps forward. The weight of deep concern hangs on his face. Did the dreams bring you here as well? The other pilgrims look to you with a mix of apprehension and hope. I'm following Eothas. The older pilgrims' mouths open in amazement. You hear a gasp from the other. They look to each other, excitement in their eyes. Praise him, the old man cries out. We're not alone. We had the dreams too. We saw the 3 stars sailing through the sky, piercing the black of a storm cloud. Figured it must be him, Eothas, calling to us, so we came here, to the place we saw in our dreams. The pilgrims look around, matching their sleeping memory to the present. We saw the giant pass with 3 stars on his brow, but... He sighs and gestures to the wagon stuck in the mud. Sad to say, we could not follow him. Wheels as stuck as it gets. Excuse me. None of us are strong enough to lift that corner up to get something under it. More than one of us tries, and we just get in each other's way. The other pilgrims nod and stretch, suddenly remembering their aching bodies. Let me take a look. A brief inspection reveals that the wagon is undamaged, but the wheel is stuck fast in the mud. We have some food, the old man says as he gestures to the back of the wagon. If we can get the wheel up, we could slide that beneath it. We have some wood, not food. Food. Haha. Inside the wagon, you see several planks of wood. A small box of valuables sits to the side. One of the younger Dawnstars looks at you, eyes wide. Reckon you can lift it? Let's attempt to lift the corner of the wagon. Adair squares himself to the wagon's corner, squats deep and rests the wheel up from the mud with a grunt. A young Dawnstar stands in shock for a moment, reacting just in time to thrust a thick board beneath the wheel. It takes the better part of an hour to lay down a safe path for the wagon to roll free of the mud. The laboring Dawnstars glisten with sweat, but laugh happily as they sing songs of praise for Aethys. Smiling, the leader presses a small bag of coins into your hand. We appreciate the help. Without you, who knows how long we would have been stranded out here. They begin to prepare their wagons as you take leave. Alright. The old man calls out to you as you go. Take care of yourself and your soul, traveler. Whether you came for Aethys or not, we know in our hearts that he has come for us. Alright, quick save. I feel like we might want to get to town first, and then we'll worry about exploration later. Port Maje Harbor. That looks so cool, the cloak with his shield.
Better see what that crowd's about.
Yeah, I agree.
What if the giant comes this way?
Please, everyone stay calm.
The man at the center of attention appears to be fielding inquiries from both the gaggle of townsfolk gathered around the platform and a rather severe-looking Amoa woman standing just beside him.
Please, everyone remain calm. I assure you I will do everything in my power to get you the answers you need. Our friends among the Huana
The Hawana are a tribal civilization primarily comprised of island Alma, I have no idea how to pronounce that, which has thrived in the Deadfire archipelago for thousands of years. Though largely decentralized, the Hawana share common values steeped in mythology and a sense of guardianship over the isles they call home.
Have offered you hospitality and safety from the storms.
The Amwa woman folds her arms.
Yes, yes. I think we are all keenly aware of the debt of gratitude we owe to the...
I have personally seen to the safety of your homes. Now you will do the same for our families.
What about our families?
What about the ships? How are we supposed to feed ourselves?
If everyone would...
As Clario's gaze sweeps across the crowd, it falls upon you, where it remains. A few more heads turn to see what has caught the governor's attention.
It's one of the pirates.
At this alarmed cry, the whole of the crowd turns to regard you. A startled, expectant hush falls upon the gathered throng. My ship ran aground just south of here. I need help.
2 of my guards reported a ship flying deer wooden colors, fallen prey to a private vessel. That would be your ship, I assume.
The crowd quiets somewhat at that, though you still find yourself the target of a few glares.
That would make him lucky. Your own vessels do not usually fare so well.
The woman regards you with bland curiosity.
Quite.
I just need some repairs, then I'll be on my way.
Per complank, everyone, forgive me. I believe this matter requires my attention. You have my word that I will keep you apprised of any changes. Especially you, Mr. Ikawa.
Do not flatter me with Valian titles. You are distracted with your newcomer and wish me gone. But I will not go far, Governor Clario.
Geralde. As for you, stranger, let us speak at my estate. We'll discuss your predicament.
I am for friendlier fires. If you would speak, seek me out in our village. Accept the light, and you shall be redeemed.
A woman shouts, arms raised high and wide. In each hand she grasps a golden flame. The flames gutter wildly as she gestures to the crowd before her. The missionary holds a candle to drip wax in the shape of 3 stars on the forehead of each kneeling worshipper. One of them stumbles back, swiping the hot wax from his skin.
Sefutito, Madicchio, I did not sign up to be burned.
Fuck this. Ah, that's funny. What do you think you're doing?
Idling, that's what. Making ourselves feel all requited.
Arms crossed over her chest, a shorter, darker-skinned woman watches the ritual with an ornery sort of expression, her delicate chin jutted up.
We just missed one of the biggest reap-ins of all time. What about the souls that need us?
As she steps forward, she reaches for a peculiar-looking lantern strapped to her hip.
Do not push me on this, you wayward child. You'd leave the living forlorn to service the dead?
Rather than discouraging the other Dawnstar, the accusation seems to kindle a stubbornness inside of her. Shoulders set, she grins.
Here, I'll light them all at once.
Metal clanking, she sways an eerily lit lantern in an intricate pattern before her. The priestess bites her lips, swinging harder and faster, lithe arms hurtling the weapon with a deceptively hidden strength until she thrusts it hard out towards the crowd, splattering everyone with wax. Wipe a wab of wax from my shoulder.
Now that we're right with our God, can we please see about helping the people I dreamed died? Those souls ain't gonna reap themselves.
Her words catch in her throat as she turns, spotting you for the first time.
I'm guessing you're not here for the baptism.
I'm looking for an Aedra statue, or an Audra statue. Yehai, inhabited by Aethys.
I knew it!
She clenches her grip on the sickle in her right hand.
Gon's been calling me here. Left the breadcrumbs in my dreams.
Gon is an aspect of Aethys associated with death and harvests. His implements are symbolically important. The sickle reaps what is sowed in life, and the lantern guides the deceased down their intended paths of death and rebirth. It is generally believed that Gon, instead of bearless avatars, visits those who embrace death with acceptance and understanding. His most fervent devotees are known as Harvesters of Gon. Gon is an answerer of wrongs and imbalances. This has contributed, in no small part, to Drywood's enthusiasm for vigilante justice. Popular regard for Gon is polarizing. He is appreciated, feared, and characterized by a grim sense of finality.
I need to get inland. If you're going, I could help you. Swear on my soul.
Who are you?
Oh, hell. Now where are my manners? I'm Shodi, child of the Dawn Stars and priestess to Gon, at your service.
She thrusts a hand out in a friendly shake. Eder seems pleased. Press the profile button. Use the C to bring the character select the rotation tab. Oh. You're a priestess of Gon, not Aethys. A dark smile curves up her lips, and her eyes glint with a fierceness.
Darn right I am. Why? You know an awful lot about Gon?
Gon's an aspect of Aethys.
I think you mean he's all what's left. You did hear, Aethys died, yeah? When summer and spring have passed us on, well, that just leaves us autumn and winter and gone.
Well, that's a rather interesting view of it.
Figure I'm a bit unorthodox, but that doesn't mean I'm wrong.
More than unorthodox, it's profane.
Why do you want to go inland?
There are souls needing their last rites. I ought to shine them the light, else they might get lost.
Enough nonsense, Joti. No one knows if anyone's even died. You've no business going in there, risking your own safety, risking our mission.
Wenglith, you guide the living and I guide the dead. Gon bids it and I dreamed it. Leave it be. We all serve our purposes. So what's yours?
I'm a watcher.
So you can see souls? That's a handy talent to have. I know my harvesting would benefit from it. And here you are, following my god. Watcher, will you take me with you?
Say I let you join me. How would that benefit me and mine?
Reckon I'm good with wounds, both inflicting and healing them up.
She jiggles her lantern, beaming you a dark-edged grin.
Me and my brethren may not see eye to eye, but they'll all admit I'm sturdier than a weed and just as stubborn. I won't die on you, before it's my time.
How adept are you as a healer? How severe a wound can you patch?
I got an eye for stages. Life and death and in between. Like progressing forward. Or sometimes backwards. It's all just change happening in different states.
She shrugs, but the interest smolders in her eyes.
Plus, gruesome doesn't bother me.
Guess her skills had something, I suppose.
Adair has busied himself with scraping something off the side of his weapon and does not look up.
Sounds like a vote of confidence to me.
Is it Zodi or Shodi? She beams happily.
Well, what's it to be?
A fine proposition. I'd enjoy the company of a priestess.
I know an offer rare as hen's teeth when I hear it. Yeah, I'm taking it.
She beams brightly.
You won't regret this.
She steals a shy glance at Adair. Ooh.
Hey.
Adair half nods without looking in Shodi's direction. He seems suddenly focused on something in the distance. A tad too eagerly, she saunters close beside you.
At least take care, child. Come back to us in one piece. If not for my sake, then Samhain's.
The older priestess sighs, shaking her head.
So don't tell her. What the High Priestess doesn't know won't hurt her.
Grinning, Shodi waves her brethren a curt parting. We're gonna have her be a priest.
The children of the Dawn Stars. I wondered if we'd run into them down here.
Not to be confused with the supernatural manifestations of Aethys, the Children of the Dawn Stars are Redsaran followers of Aethys who have traveled to the Deadfire archipelago as migrant workers in the decades following the Saints' War. Lacking colonies of their own, Dawn Stars can often be found in the employ of the Valen Trading Company or Royal Deadfire Company.
There's someone I used to know, just an old friend. Came out here to settle with them last I heard. Maybe we should ask around, see if she's still out here. Might be she can help us.
Just a friend, huh?
Jody rubs the back of her neck, clearly uncomfortable. How did you know her?
Oh, well, both grew up in Gilded Vale, same temple.
Adair looks askance at you. Your cheeks are red.
All right, all right. We used to, you know. She was real loud, too. Used to have to cover her mouth or she'd get the dog howling in the next room.
Zody's face models bright red and she turns away, hands covering her eyes. Sounds like a special woman.
I knew you'd understand. You're gonna like her. I got a good feeling.
Alright, subquests.
Happy to oblige. Hoo-wee! About time we took a breather. My feet are blistered something fierce.
Hands braced on her knees for support, she leans forward and sucks in a breath of fresh air. Her eyes never leave your face. A rosy flush slowly brightens her cheeks, and she beams you a wide, brash grin.
Tell me.
What are your thoughts on Aethys?
We talking during the Saints' War or after he died?
She puts a finger to her lips and hums thoughtfully. What's the difference?
Well, before he died, he was still Aethys as the majority of my brethren know him. Aethys embodied a human. And when that human got blown to bits, we all believed Aethys died. And I think a part of him did. The part he'd most closely woven into living flesh. The part that represented life. And rebirth after death. Which means the part of him that could have survived, that stormed across the Deadfire seas, was the side more aligned with obsidian, rot, and falling away. That which is death. No need to fiddle-foot around. I'm listening.
Should you be swearing so much as a priestess?
Reckon not. But I can't help but be a touch wayward. I don't take it too far. My mom caught me once necking in the Merkberry stalks. And of course I fight. But I've not done much more than that. And I don't use the real ugly words.
She waggles her sickle around in a helpless sort of gesture.
Sometimes the feelings, they just come tumbling right out of me. Gods darn it.
That's all for now.
I'm glad we talked.
Alright. So that's an interesting side character.
Sure.
The Juana ought to keep to themselves. And when the next storm hits...
Alright, there's usually interesting things that happen in taverns. Guards, commoner.
Have you ever seen anyone cast like that?
Sure. A weather mage is a useful person to have on a crew.
But to tame a storm? That Juana woman frightens me.
Sorry, we haven't any rooms for you.
The rather large man behind the counter glances your way, smiling grimly.
Guessing you're the one came in off that shipwreck down south. Not sure if that's good luck or bad, but here, I figure you deserve a drink.
He slides a murky pint of ale across the counter towards you. What I really need is someone to fix my ship.
Can't help you there.
Governor Clario's the one to talk to. Half the town's patching up whatever's left of the ships in the harbor, but might be he can pull some of them off to get you on your way.
What's this about the rooms?
We're full up. You aren't the first outsider to turn up looking for a place to stay after their ride off the island ended up at the bottom of the sea.
He pauses, fixing you with a considering eye.
Well, tell you what. I've got one room ought to have been cleared out by now. Only the occupants decided to outstay his welcome. Real trouble is, he hasn't settled his bill. He's a merchant captain by the name of Galleon. I've given him a fair chance, but he's been a right prick about the whole thing. I've got a spare key here. You chase him and his pals off, and the room's yours. At a discount.
He slides the key across the counter towards you. I'll see what I can do.
I appreciate it, truly. I'll have someone tidy the place up for you once you're through. Chances are they've spilled ale just about everywhere. I don't want the man dead, and that's not what I'm paying for. Just see him on his way and we'll call it done.
With a final nod, he turns away. Another elf. Alright, so one of these rooms.
Why not?
That's not it. Norgund.
A new face. You've heard, of course, that Norgund remains the most reliable and discreet supplier of mostly legitimate wares. Are you looking for something in particular?
Show me what you have for sale. Okay.
Sure.
Don't remember ordering more drinks. Thought I'd locked that thing.
The glassy-eyed gentleman before you bears the miserable expression of the recently sober. He also smells like he's been pickling in a cask for a few days.
Thing is, the way doors work, right? And I realize this is complicated, is that you close them, and then uninvited people stay on the other side. Try not to slam the door on your way out, yeah? My head's going to pieces.
You've got until I count to 10 to get your things and get out. Galleon blinks at you and then at his companions. He bursts into laughter.
Did Thorol put you up to this? You really want to get your teeth kicked in on his behalf? Get out of here before you regret it.
You can leave here on your feet or get dragged out by the ankles. Your choice. Galleon sneers for a moment, but something in your expression squelches his confidence in a hurry. He scratches nervously at his beard.
All right. Just keep your boots on. We're leaving. Thorol wants us out on the streets so bad, so be it.
You serious, Galleon? Where are we supposed to go?
The Alamo woman glowers at you before following him out.
Why not?
Need to find a thief character to join me.
Still kicking, eh? What'll it be?
Cleared out that room for you.
Hey, good work. Times like these, I can't afford to keep on anyone who can't pay their tab. If the second word got around, I'd have every pauper in the city on my doorstep. The room's yours if you want it. And for a job well done, here's your pay.
He sets a damp leather coin pouch on the counter.
Still kicking, eh? What'll it be?
Let's see here. Know anyone looking to make some coin?
Folks come by here all the time hunting for work.
Oh, so this is people we can recruit. Well, I don't want to pick anybody yet. That's an interesting
Still
option.
kicking, eh?
I'd like to hire some members from my crew.
Not much point to that without a ship. Come by when you've got work to offer and we'll figure something out.
Okay. Like a room,
Sure thing.
please. Let's go ahead and rest. Alright.
Race you to the coral. No contest. What? Just because you have webbed fingers and I can't swim? You are restrained.
Leave it to me.
Most of the postings offer various goods for trades, leased by at least one crude drawing of what may be the governor. Who are you?
Ado, begging your pardon for the mess, sir. We are still recovering from the storm. We have supplies here for the paying customer. Provisions for the road, perhaps?
Let's see what you have.
Have a look.
I do remember needing, like, camping supplies to sleep or something. I forget. Nope, I don't want to steal. Henrik, you're another merchant, right?
Here you find civilization, amigo. That is...
Yeah, you're a merchant.
You have to do something. Any of us could be next.
Oh? I cannot imagine who might wish to harm you, Mestre. Per complanca. Don't tell me you're here to complain, too.
The guardsman covers his face with his hand, groaning.
Divirus. Are they recruiting right off of the docks? You would think the Juana were storming the Kraken's Eye as we speak.
I was hoping you might be able to help me, actually.
Ack, you and everyone else. Speak with Commander Savia at the jail, if you want a sense of how matters stand.
What's going on?
A fight, Mestre. One of the Juana women attacked a merchant. He has come out the worse for it.
He jerks a thumb towards the nearby door.
Now every nationale in town wets himself in terror of losing his coin to the Aumaua. We would bring in the thief, but Clario would not have us march into the village and defend Ikawa. much longer, and I do not think any of us will have a choice in the matter. If you wanted the details of it, speak to Rinko himself. He will delight in telling you the tale.
Dharma makes a sharp, frustrated hand gesture and turns away.
You must gather your party.
I'm keeping Papa company till he's better.
Nice lore books. That's interesting.
Yeah. Who's there? Tori, is that you? Wait, who are you?
The figure in the bed is a young Valian man. The first thing you notice is that he seems to have been severely beaten. One eye is nearly swollen shut, and where his skin is revealed is a patchwork of livid bruises. He groans and winces as he props himself up, glaring at you with his one good eye.
I know exactly how he feels. And I beat up a lot of folks just the same way.
Jody nibbles on her lips, trying to hide a spreading smile.
Come to laugh? Madeko, this would not have stood in Ozia.
He yanks at the bedsheet, trying to cover himself. In Ozia, there'd be a crowd here to taunt you. Wrinkle barks a short laugh, then immediately winces. Thoughtful, Jody rubs a knuckle along the edge of her jaw.
Maybe you are right. So you are visiting. What do you want?
What happened to you?
These Juana. They are an unreasonable people. I was enjoying a night of cards when one of them attacked me, out of nowhere. I had not spoken a word to her. The mad devil. Look what she did to me. My ear.
He turns his head, and you can see that there's a scabbed over notch where a chunk of flesh has been torn away from his left ear.
When the fighting is over, she takes my coin purse and strides away. Bold as anything.
Yeah, you should always ditch the jewelry before a fight.
I was deep into my cups. It was not a fair contest to begin with. The governor lets the Juana do as they please, and this is the result. I should be out there, helping to find our people. My wife, Zenetta, she is out there, and I...
He gestures feebly with an arm, grimacing.
Listen, I am without other means. She took my coin purse, my wages. How am I to pay the governor? How am I to feed my son?
His already bruise-purpled face reddens further.
That woman should be in the stocks. The guards do nothing. But you've heard me out at least. Do me the kindness of retrieving that coin purse, and I will give you what I can spare.
Maybe I can reason with this woman. Where should I start?
They call her Mokeha. I imagine she is back in her village, feeling proud of herself, no doubt. Follow the road as it bends north. Then west. You can't miss it. A pile of sticks and straw.
With that, he sags back against the mattress, clearly exhausted.
What marvelous carvings!
Oh, yes. This one is many centuries old. Blessed by Ngati herself.
Magnificent!
Yes? What is it I can do for you?
The watch commander looks up at you after her listless greeting, and you notice that she has a dark bruise around one eye. She grimaces, but does not turn away. What happened to you?
What happened? I showed the drunken fool more patience and respect than he deserved, and he struck me without warning.
Sientere, Savia. You know that I was aiming for Darmo's pretty face.
Something you wanted?
I don't see many guards
We are
around.
stretched thin. The storm speaker did much to help, but much of the town has flooded. Now we are awash in homeless citizens and stranded merchants, to say nothing of the cultists out there.
Savia glances up at Jody, expression flat, but keeps silent.
Now I have Ilari's people making trouble up on Gorechi Street. His little gang is looting everything they can get their hands on, and the Bozzo kicks up his heels like a prince.
Lucky for you that I'm around. I humbly offer my services. Let me out and I will bring you this Ilari's teeth.
Shut it, Rigere.
I could go speak to this Ilari.
Ue, I cannot say it would not be welcome, but you are only recently arrived, and not, I hear, by choice. Why do this?
Seems only sensible to be on good terms with the commander.
And you are a sensible man, I see. Fair enough. Gorechi Street is in the western part of town. Just walk until you hit water. We don't need a bloodbath. I'm sure there's a peaceful solution to resolve this. I'd appreciate your looking for it.
How are things here in Port Maje?
We lost no one to the storm, but many homes have been damaged, and the people are terrified of this giant the scouts reported. It is chaos, pure and simple, but things might have been far worse.
Alright. We'll stay here for now. Let's figure out what's going on in the governor's mansion.
Keep it down. Leave it to me.
Alright, what's going on in this house?
Why not?
Ah, yes, there you are. As governor and under the auspices of the Valiant Trading Company, please allow me to officially welcome you to Port Maje.
He spreads his hand in a subdued flourish.
I'd like to say the pleasure's all mine, but I try not to lie. Don't worry, I'm only here on account of him.
She bobs her head in your direction.
Of course. I see you've been as quick to involve yourself as ever.
Clario's tone is polite, but there is a strange edge to his wide smile as he turns from Shodi to address you.
Apologies for that little drama outside. These are confusing times, and people often react poorly to uncertainty. Between the storm, the pirates, and the, well, certain strange events, we are all a little on edge.
He spreads his hands in an apologetic gesture. I understand. You said you could help me.
Yes, your ship. You are stranded, are you? It was a rough landing by all reports. A wonder you survived. Unfortunately, our own ships are in no condition to sail. We've had dealings with the pirates ourselves. They've taken their share of supply ships. The storm saw to those berthed in the harbor. All that said, I believe I may have a solution, provided you're willing to help me in turn.
What could I do for you? I just got here.
Indeed. Which means I can spare you, whereas I cannot spare the guards. I have the guards on the lookout for pirate vessels looking to take advantage of whatever damage the storm caused. We've cannons enough to see them off, but I need every man ready to use them. There is a site of some considerable value elsewhere on the island. A value to the trading company, you understand. In point of fact, it's the very reason any of us are here. You're familiar with the luminous Adra trade?
I know that luminous Audra is supposed to house more concentrated essence.
It's also quite valuable. When refined, it sells for considerable sums. The trading company has invested a lot of time and money into locating sites suitable for mining and processing.
Get to the point, Clario.
We sought to improve the refinement process. To that end, we hired some of the brightest minds in the field of animancy and brought them out here to lend their expertise. And then one evening, a storm rolls in out of nowhere, and my scouts begin to report that a giant has marched its way across the island towards my dig site. What am I to make of that? We haven't heard from Mestre Odorisi since, nor any of his assistants, or the workers. I must know what has happened. If Odorisi, if his work is lost, then everything that we have worked for is at risk. Which is where you come in. You need a ship, I need information. See to this for me, and I'll set half the town to work. We'll patch up your ship, and you'll be free to go on your way.
And if I find this Odorisi?
Why, take his report on the situation and remind him that he's under certain contractual obligations. And relay my deep relief at his good health, of course.
I can do that.
Glad. Then we are agreed. I will assign men to keep watch over your ship. You will find the dig site on the eastern side of the island. I'll mark it on your map, here.
You'll do it for the Watcher, but not for me? I see how it is.
With a discontented sound, she crosses her arms over her chest.
Yes. Why wouldn't I want a pack of Dawn Stars crawling over my Adra mine in search of their lost deity?
Claudio darts a quick sour look in Shodi's direction.
One more thing. If you should recover Odorisi's notes, know that they would be of great value to me.
So it's an Angwithian dig site. Okay. Alright, a bit of coffee. Bite to eat. Got my breakfast. Got my wife something to eat. Time to get back into the adventures. And I do have a quest here. As you make your way along the sides to support Magi, you come across visible traces of the storm's passing. Many of the houses here boast cracked window panes and sagging awnings, and you pass narrow streets strewn with foliage and debris. The cobblestones beneath your feet are still slick with water and silt. Before long, you are ankle-deep in sucking mud and loose stones. The flooding only worsens up ahead, where the water level rises above the knees, or to the knees. Many of Port Magi's residents have fled the region for dry land. By the murmur of raised voices ahead and the occasional splash, excuse me, suggests that you're not entirely alone. Excuse me. Quick save. Don't let them leave. We can't have witnesses. Alright.
Let's go. Looks like something.
Hidden objects can be discovered while exploring. It's tied to their perception. There's a bucket there.
Ain't you got the decency to die? Rebirth awaits me.
Alright, so she got taken out. That's not good. No, I want to do this one.
Missed. Word rock.
What other spells does she have?
Let's go.
Be on seek. Arthic Worthen Roth.
After him.
Rebirth awaits me.
Very nice. Leveled up.
Sure.
Need a quick save because that was a pretty nasty battle. Protective Eothasian. Small cameo holds an engraved image of 3 stars upon it. Grants darkness before dawn. Which grants health over time or reduces it. Oh, okay, that's interesting. Well, I'm probably going to want to give that to...
what the Watcher's given me. It's pretty as a picture, ain't it?
She's excited about the trinket I just gave her.
Why not?
Alright. We need to level up before we do anything else. She's got religion, so I'm not going to need it. I kind of feel like I misspent that. So I'm going to retrain when I go back to the tavern. Excuse me. Ooh, level 2 stuff. I'm definitely taking Insect Swarm. Woodskin might be helpful for my group. Blizzard. Alright, now we go on to you. Take survival and athletics. The fighter trains the ability to adopt specialized fighting stances. Each stance excels at handling a different aspect of combat. Yeah, I'll be taking defense. Decisions. These sound interesting. Resolute inspiration. I'm gonna take this one for sure. think that's a good enough start for now, and then we have a spirit here we can talk to as well.
Something must be wrong with my vision. No matter how much I blink, I cannot make out more than blurry lights in the darkness. You are quite blinding.
I'm sorry, but you're dead. Come with me and I'll help you.
Dead? Oh, but this is terrible.
The spirit sighs, wispy shoulders slumping.
Let me ease this one's pain, Watcher.
Dark eyes solemn, Shoti circles her lantern around the departed soul.
No can do.
Alright, talk to this one.
Nothing but endless grey mist. This is not the afterlife I was promised.
Not yet, at least.
You seem to know where you are going.
The soul crosses ethereal arms over her chest.
Watcher, you're talking to a lost soul, aren't you? I'll just shine them the light real quick.
The lantern rattles as Shoti swings it overzealously between you, siphoning in the spirit's essence. Oh, these are those guys I was looking for.
Not much cause to come out this way unless you're looking for trouble. Although you've found it.
The young elf's hand drops to the pistol in his belt, palming the grip. The faintest hint of a sneer plays about his lips as he watches you, unblinking. Savia sent me. She needs you to put a stop to the looting. Ilari snorts, his nose wrinkling. He regards you for a moment longer in expected silence. Then he throws his head back, letting out a braying, unpleasant laugh.
Merle, she must be desperate. Not so desperate as to come here, on her knees to beg for herself, but she sent you. No, there's my answer. I get my cut. There's no sense in ruining a good thing.
Help her out this once, and Savia will owe you a favor.
A favor? Merle, I should buy her dinner, maybe.
Mid-chortle, Ilari's brows draw together. He runs a thumb along his jaw, frowning.
Done. I'll do it. Bon Piaco. Can't be too bad, having a commander in your pocket. Tell Savia this isn't permanent. The second the water clears up and things are back to normal, we'll... The word. Gorechi Street is under a...
Lawful protection now. Okay.
Gotta wait in my lantern now. Almost feel like I can hear the soul when I jostle it around. With every soul, my lantern's getting heavier and heavier in my hand.
Have you suffered any recent nightmares?
I did. Recently with you. You were walking the depths of the ocean, but you didn't drown. And in your hand, you gripped the key to Eora's end.
Her face alights with a fierceness.
I've seen stars wreathing a statue's brow, and souls flowing like tears over gleaming Audra. And then my god headed into the heart of the storm, where he could find the darkness. Tell me what's on your mind?
That's all for now.
It's best.
Keeping out of trouble? A little jest. What is it?
I convinced Ilari to keep watch on Grossi Street.
Perfetto. He's a little shitne, but a lazy one. He will not cause trouble if he does not have to. Easier to work with a familiar face for the moment. I can deal with him later. So, we have one small part of Port Mage under control. A good start. Well, here you are, for your time. If I had 10 men like you, the whole of Port Marge would be set right within the week.
Alright, that quest's done. Now, I probably want to go to the tavern and respec if I can. My main character, because since she's got religion and he's got athletics, I could probably go full survival and drop the religion points.
Still kicking, eh? What'll it be?
Any chance you saw the fight between Rinko and Mokeha?
Mokeho?
Mokeha.
That'll be the Juana the poor fool got into a dust-up with, I expect. Yeah, I saw it. Made a real mess, they did. The two of them were having a game of cards, far as I could see. Guess things between them soured in a hurry. I kicked the Juana out, had a few men carry what was left of Rinko home.
Do you know who started it?
Could have been anything. Rinko doesn't know when to quit talking, and some of those Juana are real serious types. As far as I'm concerned, we owe the Storm Speaker for keeping the town in one piece. Don't mean I'd invite her people over for tea.
So they were playing against each other.
Well, yeah. Think maybe Rinko wasn't expecting one of the Juana to know the game so well. He looked real nervous by the end.
Do you know Rinko?
Well, no more than most. He's a hard man to like, let's say. Came here with the wife, an animancer, one of Odorisi's lot. The governor could tell you more there. Sure. Just hope you don't need to dredge anything up again. Leave the feuding for the Blue Bloods.
I think it was this option. I do. Survival and alchemy.
Still kicking, eh?
Sure. Like a room. Let's take a rest. Let's go back up to see if he's got anything else to say about that Rinaldi guy.
Hey.
I'm gonna go defender stance actually.
Yeah?
Yeah.
See if Claudio knows any more.
What can I do for you?
Nope.
Certainly. It may not have the grandeur of if you have any questions. Yes?
He doesn't have anything to say about that guy, so I think we're just gonna have to make our way up there. And see what we can see. Alright, we just have to go all the way up. It says we can leave town on foot. Or we can go straight there. Let's go straight there.
Sure.
A mirror's winds blow sweet upon you.
Seated upon a chair before the bonfire, Ikawa looks considerably more comfortably here in her home village. She pods absently at the coals with a long stick. Her lined face is pocked with fading scars, but there's no hostility in her calm appraisal as you approach.
I have had it shown to me on a map, the lands at the edge of the world. I did not ever think to meet a man from such a place. They told me what became of your ship. I say again that you are lucky. It is the only ship that survives. I could protect Port Mage, or else its ships, but not both. Perhaps Clario thinks I chose poorly.
Doesn't look like the storm did much damage here.
To a storm speaker, the storm is a friend, gentled by a word. And Satahuzi is blessed with several storm speakers. We were able to shield the village from much of the weather. Some of it is mere luck. Most of our canoes were here by the shore. We did lose one of our voyagers. It will take some work to replace it.
Did your people see the giant?
Yes, one of the old titans, say the priests. Andra is angry, though why, our priests do not know. I am only glad it has journeyed elsewhere.
A titan?
Ngati, Andra's realm, harbors many great beasts. They say the ancestors of the Kahanga tribe, and so their queen, hold pacts with such creatures. My priests wonder if this is her doing.
Can you help me free my ship?
Yes, but it will take Clario's assistance. Convince him, and I will aid you.
Why wait on Clario's word?
You are one of his people now. It falls on him to protect you.
Mokeha is causing trouble in town. Ikawa sighs deeply and folds her hands into her lap.
Mokeha is proud, like her father. Each day this alliance tests her patience. What has happened?
She nearly killed a man.
Mokeha could have killed him, if she wished to. Is it not enough that he lives?
She lives in your village. She's your responsibility.
If you wish something from Mokeha, my advice is to trade for it. Is that not how the outsiders get everything they need?
Okay.
Why not?
She's not in here, so...
Fancy a look at the wares, my friend?
Did you see the fight between Rinko and Mokeha?
Did I see it? Best night of my life.
She jams vaguely at the air, pretending to throw
And
punches.
he was snuffed out like a candle, poor bastard. I assumed he was being his usual charming self. How he and the wife get on so well, I have no idea. Why do you ask?
Do you know how it started?
Not really. I saw the Huano woman bearing down on him, looking like trouble. They argued for a bit. His buddies were dragging him down the road not long after that.
Okay. A woman steps sideways, angling herself towards you, and meets your gaze with an intense stare.
I do not know you.
Her voice is quiet, but each word is clipped and harsh.
You were looking for Kawa?
Rinko says that you robbed him during a card game.
Rinko?
She scoffs in a guttural burst of sound.
The Valian? You jest, Akira. I should have thrown him into the sea. He dares to call me a thief?
Why don't you tell me what really happened?
What else? The Valians are fools. But Akawa wishes to trade, so we must be patient. We must save them from Nagate's storms, even when they ignore our advice. Ikawa told me I should see the tavern, speak with their people, learn patience. The traitor Eophania, she taught me to play game cards. A simple game, but none would play with me in the tavern. Not until Rinko. I thought him kind, until I proved the victor, and he grew angry. Until he stood in front of his kin and called me a Mataru of Sadahuzi, a filthy islander and a cheat. For that, yes, I beat him. Why does this concern you?
You should have told the guards. You've been branded a thief.
I am no thief. Do you mean to insult me? I am Mataru. I am the guard in Sadahuzi. I defend this village. If I see fit to punish a man, it is my duty.
If a Valen broke Huana law, would you be satisfied with the fine levied by the governor?
That is not the same. This has long been our island.
Yeah, keep the coin purse. Rinko got what he deserved.
Truly? I did not expect this. In truth, I do not have much use for it. Perhaps Akawa will use the coin. May Amira's winds blow sweet upon you, stranger.
Okay, well, that quest is done.
What? You are joking.
There's nobody here.
Leave it to me.
think that's all we can do here in this village. Speak to her one last time.
May Amira's winds blow sweet.
Nope. Nothing new to say. Search the location. Find a handful of common gemstones. Keep searching. Find a yellow scroll. Keep searching. Yep. Keep searching. One more time. Okay. I mean, do I really need it? Ship crew morale. I mean, I can't remember if I need this for... my ship crew or not. I can't remember. Thick woodlands spread to the east of Fort Mage, slowing your travels. Birds flitter above you, and insects drone incessantly. The path eventually gives way to a game trail, then to no path at all. You find a curiously marked tree, the bark gouged away in a pattern. The striations seem to run upward from right to left, just shy of vertical. Examine the markings. The depth and width of the gashes suggest the tusks of a boar, and the curled tufts of brown fur you find wedged into the scored wood confirm your supposition. You notice a sigil carved lightly into the wood, so faint as to be almost imperceptible. Identify the symbol. Shoti squints at the carving and frowns. Looks Huwana. 3 overlapping circles. Can't say beyond that. Quiet rustling in the underbrush draws your attention northward, deeper into the forest. Call out. Hello, someone there? The sound approaches, and a tall Aumoa appears through the vegetation. Matted red hair frames his head, while boar hides drape his form. Stranger still, several wild boar attend him, their hackles up as they snort at you. Adair perks up at the sight of the boars, alternately imitating their grunts and chuckling. Only at length, in what appears to be a heel-dragging afterthought, does his attention at last turn to the strange man in their midst. Dirt darkens the folds of the man's skin. His lips curl over jagged teeth. He waves the stick at you.
No, never talk. Just go. Leave this forest. Go leave these islands. Go return from where you've been.
His Adiran is halting, the language thick in his mouth. I came looking for you. The people on the coast said that you could help me. Wait, what is that? Bluff. No. I mean you no harm. Can't we just talk?
Said as if a word never hurts a person. You go. Speak quickly, then. Your words disturb this place.
I just want to pass through this forest.
No, your sort always want. This forest is not yours. This land is not yours. Go, leave.
I'm hunting a god. If I fail, your islands will not be spared his wrath. The man frowns and pulls a leather-wrapped pouch from within his belongings. Hands shaking, he hands it to you. You have gained an item. Wise teeth necklace. Continue.
Then go, take this. They protect you if you speak true. They tear out your throat if no.
He dismisses you with a wave. Is that a belt? Well, it is a belt.
My folks said I'd never amount to anything.
Always wanting more. I've given you what you asked for. You go now.
So did that get me north of the forest? It did. Very groovy. Search the location. Guess we're going down to the pass now. The trail before you seems thoroughly disturbed by erratic tracks. The sparse plants to the immediate sides of the path roughly mangled. A struggle may have occurred here. Search the area. It takes you only a few moments to make sense of the chaos. No blood spatters suggest it was not a fight, and you easily identified the clawed prints of Saribs. The tracks seem recent. A dry and ropey vine has been pulled taut across the path and inexpertly covered in dirt. Circumvent the trap, because I can't disarm it. You leave the well-traveled path and pick your way through the wilderness, eyes searching ahead of you for additional traps. You hear a series of quiet chirps and growls ahead, and make out the movement of small forms through the undergrowth. Sneak closer to observe. You creep closer, parting the grass for a better view. A handful of Sarps hiss and sap at one another, shaking their spears in their scaled fists. They stand over the apparent source of their argument, a small pile of loot likely stolen from other travelers. Scatter them with magic. You chant quietly, gathering essence before hurling a blast of mystic power among the Sarps. They belt out hissing cries as they flee from the sudden magical force. With the Sarps gone, you're able to collect what they left behind. You discover a few coins, a tattered cloak, and an old stiletto. Alright, the Ingwithian dig site. Alright, we're going to level up, and then we're going to call it quits here, because this is as good of a place as any. Alchemy and survival. I get one ability to choose from. Oh, I get another weapon type. I think I'll take wand for now. Wait, why not? I should respec him as well, because he doesn't need survival if I'm taking survival on my other character. Hmm. So right now I'm proficient with sabers. Or we also want to take long swords. Whether single-bladed or double-edged, swords are always straight-bladed, one-handed weapons that can be used. In some circumstances, swords last long. I'll take the axe. Alright, with that note, we're going to call it quits here, ladies and gentlemen. It's been a pretty good stream this morning to get back into Pillars of Eternity 2. Hope you enjoyed. Check out the other videos on the channel. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon to get updates for when I go live or when there's new videos out on the channel. So stay tuned. We've got more coming down the pipeline. Hope everybody stays healthy, stays safe, and we'll see you in the next episode.